town administrator update, and then many action items, starting with A, the appointment of possible appointment of William LePage as building inspector. Consideration and possible action increase the water rate to $8.45 per 100 cubic feet, has voted in warrant Article 28 at town meeting. Consideration and possible action increase the sewer rate to $15.10 per 100 cubic feet, 20%, and flat sewer rate to $228, also 20% increase, paid quarterly, has voted in warrant Article 29 at the town meeting. Consideration and possible action to have an insert in the water and sewer tax bills. Consideration and possible action on the appropriation of fund for the Wetlands Protections Fund in the amount of $7,564 for FY25. Consideration and possible action on the application for auctioneer permit for Donald Roucher for an auction of the personal property of Kelly Ryerson at 86 Breakneck Road on Saturday, July 13th. Consideration and possible action on establishing a memorial and markers committee for the town of Sturbridge. Consideration and possible action to confirm the appointment of Lisa Broder to the Sturbridge Agricultural Commission for a term to expire June 17, 2027. Consideration and possible action on confirm the appointment of Eric Reynolds to the Sturbridge Agricultural Commission for a term to expire June 17, 2026. Consideration and possible action to confirm the appointment of Heidi Perry Gorgon to the Sturbridge Agricultural Commission for a term to expire June 17, 2025. Consideration and possible action to confirm the appointment of Daniel Gargan to the Sturbridge Agricultural Commission for a term to expire June 17, 2025. Consideration and possible action on for a one-day liquor license for Oakham Brewing Company, Melissa LeBlanc, for an event at Pickle U on June 22nd, 2024 from 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. Consideration and possible action for a one-day liquor license for Ragged Hill for the Sturbridge Farmers Market for Sundays, June 23rd, 2024 to October 13th, 2024. Consideration and possible action on a transient vendor application for Northeast Cutlery Collectors Association Incorporated for a show at the Sturbridge Host Hotel on November 17th, 2024 from 9 to 2. Consideration and possible action on a transient vendor application for David Brockman for a show at the Sturbridge Host Hotel on July 7, 2024, Monday, July 28th, and Monday, July 8th, 2024. Consideration and a possible action on a hawker and peddler application for Dennis F. Walsh for a farm stand at Empire Village parking lot on Route 20. For the sale of fresh fruits and vegetables. Consideration and possible action to accept the letter of resignation from Chase Walker from his position in facilities. Consideration and possible action to accept the letter of resignation from Marsha Rigsby from her position on Slack as the Walker Pond rep. Consideration and possible action to accept the letter of resignation from Sherry Kelleher from Slack as the lead mine rep. Consideration and possible action to confirm the appointment of Richard Volpe to the Betterment Committee and Board of Health representative for a term to expire June 17, 2025. Consideration and possible action to authorize the chair to execute the contract with National Painting Services, LLC, for the amount of $35,700 for the partial exterior painting of the Joshua Hyde Library. Consideration and possible action to authorize the chair to execute the contract with Brown Electric Corporation for $65,883 for the Recycle Center fire alarm replacement project. Consideration and possible action to carry over vacation for the TA. Old business, the town administrator's review. New business, and then correspondence, approval of minutes, citizen forum, and then executive session regarding the firefighters union. So with that, could everybody please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. And again, as I've been doing, I would like to just take a moment of silence for the wars in the Middle East and Europe that are occurring right now. And thank you. All right, public service announcements. Mary Lou.
I just wanted to say that on June 9th, the fire department had a rededication for the bell. And it was a very nice program, and the job that they did on the bell and the landscaping around it is really, really nice. And they plan on doing it every year,
Great.
the second week of June.
Nice. Mary Dowling?
I just want to wish everybody a happy, healthy summer. Today was the last day of school for our students and the teachers. And so health, happiness, God's blessings. Everybody was very excited. And we have an excellent recreation program. So for parents who haven't signed up yet, I just want to say it's a great program. They put a lot of work into it. That's it.
Great. Mary?
Just that the rescheduling of the block party from last week is this Friday down on the Common.
Awesome. Great.
Fun time.
Excellent. All right, and mine is go Boston Celtics. They left me literally the layup.
You're in control of whether we get out in time to see.
It's all on you.
You got the right man on the job. All right, with that, Robin.
And so this will be quick so as not to interfere with important New England business. Michelle and I have been taking a good look at our casualty insurance as we did our health insurance to see if we could get any better of a rate. The person who bid the price for us right now indicated that we should probably stay where we are at with Maya for now.
Okay.
Next year, Maya's numbers are going to be reviewed anyway. We're up for a renewal anyway at that point, so we will revisit this person again and do some comparative analysis. Last time we did this, our Maya rate actually dropped with healthcare when we asked them to provide our information to a competitor. So it never hurts to let them know when they're doing our rebid next year for a percentage increase to know that we are actively looking. So for right now, we will stay with Maya. Lake Road, on June 12th, I joined a neighborhood association meeting, virtual meeting. We had a long discussion on the gate. If you recall, Mr. Smith from Lake had come in talking about how they could stop through traffic on Lake. They've come up with a way that does not stop us from still providing the basic services that we would. We've made it very clear, we don't authorize the gate to go up. We simply can acknowledge that yes or no to whatever they do, whether or not it allows us to continue to plow and fill potholes. If they stop all public access, we cannot do any of those things. However, they can gate it where you could drive up the road and turn around and drive back out the road, and we still would provide the service. They are working with emergency first responders. There'll be a siren automatic opening of the gate, fob service, backup power generators, all of those things. But the neighbors on Old Town had some concerns and questions, and so that's who hosted the meeting. So everybody's still in communication right now.
Great.
Migrants, just an update. The Commonwealth informed us that on June 30th, all families would be moved out. I don't have any further updates than that, but that's the last I've heard.
You don't know where they're going?
I do not. I know that they're trying to centralize, the state is trying to centralize to be able to provide better services and take it out of the sort of the fringe communities. Host Student Appreciation Month. At the end of May, I joined Lynn Gerard for a beautiful luncheon at the Host, and I have to say, I know I'm not supposed to plug individual businesses, but this is a conference center that is very important to the town. Really a lovely luncheon. There's been a lot of work done even since the election, painting, upgrading inside of the Host. So if people have not had a chance, it's worth noting that there's been some effort made, because I know we've had some discussions and concerns, given that it is such an important conference center. But this was management actually celebrating special needs students who volunteer there. It was the end of their school year, and it was a really nice luncheon. And I believe one of the people who'd been volunteering there is now hired to continue to work there. So really, really a great program, very, very moving. Great day. Eagle Scout Project, if you notice out in front of Town Hall next to the Quabog newspaper thing, we now have a flag disposal box made by our wonderful Eagle Scout. So Adam put this together. He also put one at the post office, and he's built two beautiful ones, a wooden one that's going to go over at the Legion. So anybody who needs to dispose of an American flag appropriately can drop the flag in one of those boxes. It will then be taken to the Legion for proper effectively disposal, yeah. So thank you to Adam. That was great. We were very excited about that, Mr. Young Adam Bailey. And this is a typo. The revised charter is now online. That's a big difference. That's actually really important. It's not online, and I wanted to make you all know that. I don't usually celebrate what I haven't done, so let's celebrate what I have done. So thank you to the clerk's office as well. We got the red line all incorporated. And that is it from me.
Okay, great. All right, now we are moving to action items. First one, consideration and possible action on the appointment of William LePage as the building inspector, zoning enforcement officer, and ADA coordinator. How you doing?
So, as you know, Nelson retired, and we had a committee to do interviews. It was, who do we have? We had Jean Bouban, we had Ed Goodwin, myself, and Chase also served on it, and we had several applicants. We narrowed to our top 4 for interviews. Mr. LePage has been serving in the interim since Nelson left. He has served for the interim in the past. We've been pleased with his work and his background. He has direct experience in Charlton, so he's very familiar with doing this job in this area, in this part of Massachusetts. And we're very excited to put him forward to the board tonight to step in multiple capacities, this position. It serves as the inspector, zoning enforcement officer, and also ADA coordinator. So with that, I present Mr. LePage to you.
Hey, Mr. LePage.
Good evening.
All right, questions from the board first.
Do you have anything to say?
No.
How unusual.
Made a few words, but a lot of action, so that's what we care about.
No, I mean, your resume reads well, a lot of experience,
Yeah,
you know, 2 years here and all over the place, Florida and so.
Yeah, I moved out to Florida for a few years, was inspecting down there. We decided to move back right at the time when Nelson was retiring. So I, offered to him and the town to fill in until they found somebody. And in the meanwhile, I applied and was offered the position.
If I might add, Ann also was on that committee. My bad, Ann Murphy was also on the committee, and Ann actually has worked with Bill, going out to sites, and has directly observed him interacting with people, and she had a lot of input on this position as well.
Did you move back because you're a New Englander at heart from Florida?
Yeah. It was like a 3-year vacation, but I had to come back.
You missed those winters, right?
Yeah, I miss shoveling and,
Too hot down there.
That is true, so. Anything else?
No, I mean, it's all his certifications, and I think it's great.
So the only thing I'd say is, it's just please make sure our bylaws are complied with, and make sure, and safety is paramount. I mean, really, the position exists to make sure things don't burn down, things don't explode. We comply. And if you, and I know that can be hard sometimes, so just know we'll have your back if you're holding the rule of law, as it were. So with that, do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion that we appoint William LePage as building inspector slash zoning enforcement officer and ADA coordinator.
Second.
Great, all those in favor? Welcome aboard.
thank you.
All right.
Welcome aboard.
Thank you.
You're welcome, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, well, moving on. Consideration and possible action to increase the water rate to $8.45 per 100 cubic feet as voted in warrant Article 28 at town meeting.
So these next two, B and C, are both official declarations of rate that the board are required to do post-town meeting.
Do we have any questions, comments?
No, I'm sure once the quarterly bills go out, we'll be hearing from
Well, that's why the next item D is there, so.
Yeah.
Those are 20% increases, is that why the 20% is there
Yeah.
in parentheses?
We just wanted to be transparent about,
Yeah.
and we should
Yeah,
put what
because-
those numbers are.
There weren't that many people at town meeting.
Right.
So,
So it's a big increase.
Yes.
But the, Mary, do anything on these? No. Okay, so do we have a motion on Article B? Item B, excuse me.
I'll make a motion to increase the water rate to $8.45 per 100 cubic feet as voted in warrant Article 28 at town meeting.
second,
All those in favor? The ayes have it. Okay, consideration and possible action to increase the sewer rate to $15.10 per 100 cubic feet, 20%, and flat river sewer to $228, 20%, paid quarterly, as voted in warrant Article 29 at town meeting.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor? All right. Moving on to action item D, consideration and possible action to have an insert in the water sewer tax bills.
So this is just because the rate is going to have a little bit of a shift to it. We know people are going to have questions. We want to remind them that this was a result of the town meeting vote. If they have questions or concerns, Barbara can forward them to my office or address them out of her office. But we just feel it's appropriate to put something in the bills.
No, it's, so people are
Yeah,
aware.
and people need to feel free to call us.
You know, they're frustrated, understandably so. All right, do we have a motion?
Make a motion to have an insert, to approve to have an insert in the water sewer tax bills.
Second.
Great, all those in favor? The ayes have it. Thank you. All right, moving on to action item E, consideration and possible action on the appropriation of funds from the Wetland Protection Fund in the amount of $7,564 for fiscal year 2025.
So this is just a continuation of what we did last year to fund a portion of Erin's salary as well, comes out of the Wetlands Fund. No major change on this.
Okay, I'll make a motion that we approve the transfer from the Wetlands Protection Fund for the amount of $7,564.
Do we have a second?
Second.
All those in favor? The ayes have it. Consideration and possible action on the application for auctioneer permit for Donald Roucher for an auction at the personal property of Kelly Ryerson of 86 Breakneck Road, Sturbridge, on Saturday, July 13th, 2024, from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. All right.
Hi,
Evening.
good evening.
Would you please identify yourself?
Donald Rauscher, Northampton, Massachusetts, Rauscher Brothers Auctioneers, Massachusetts Auction License 2233.
All right, sounds like you said this before. So what is going on at 86 Breakneck?
She has a customer for the real estate, and she and her husband used to do property maintenance, so there's a 40 by 80 shed, and there's, like if you owned an apartment complex, you'd hire their company, when one tenant moved out, another one, they would do any electrical work or painting or anything. So it's things of that nature. I said personal property for lack of any other
No, that makes
term.
sense. All right, questions, thoughts, concerns from the board?
Are you expecting a large turnout?
Pre-COVID, I would have said yes, now not so much. People aren't as in big a hurry to go to a public auction, a live auction. We pivoted to a lot of online stuff, for general auctions, and people kind of got used to it. So I'm expecting a crowd, but not in the hundreds like you would have had 10 years ago. But yeah, the very first thing I did when she approached me was I got a hold of the Sturbridge PD, and they said, get a traffic detail, we can work with you. And that was my primary concern. And they were all about it, so I proceeded with the process.
Makes sense. Other questions, thoughts? Do we have a motion?
I make a motion that we approve the application for auctioneer permit for Donald Rocher for an auction at the personal property of Kelly Reinerson of 86 Breakneck Road, Sturbridge, on July 13th, 2024, from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m.
Okay.
Second.
Great, all those in favor? All right.
We're just going to send it down the road a sign so he
Yeah.
can have it right now.
And thank you for coming in, we appreciate it. Okay, so we're moving to action item G, consideration and possible action on establishing a memorial and markers committee for the town of Sturbridge.
So this came up as a result, and we have Mr. Hersey here, Wally, because I got busted for calling you Mr. Hersey.
Dr. Hersey.
Dr. Hersey, historian Hersey is here. And there had been a proposal of a plaque and a lot of discussion on vetting processes, who's overseeing them, who approves them. And a suggestion came out that we start a committee for memorials and markers. And so what I put together was just a little bit of something for you to look at. I would probably have my facilities director as the liaison, because she's gonna have the best sense of locations of where markers can go. We'd certainly work with department directors and involved departments. It would be a standard committee appointed by me with the advice and consent of the select board. And basically, so that when these things go to FinCom and then to town meeting, we would have a line that says, markers committee, or when it went to FinCom, it would say, they would be able to say, yeah, the markers committee supported this 4-1 or 5-0 or whatever else. So it's just basically a vetting, so that when these things go to finance and finance goes to vote on them, or once it gets to town meeting and people say, well, did the committee look at this? Well, yes, the committee looked at this. So it's basically a check and balance process. And if Wally wants to address it further, certainly he can.
Identify yourself for the record, sir.
Yes, my name is Wally Hersey, 7 Acorn Lane. When it came up during the three proposals that came up from the CPA to the selectmen, with you folks, and went up to the FinCom, they all did quite well. In fact, the FinCom was pleased with all of them, except for one, as Jimmy had said. The peer review would be important. And about a year ago, when I started the process on the three of them, there wasn't any mechanisms in town for this at all. Other towns have this type of thing in place. So I said, okay, I'll do it on my own as individual resident, which CPA funds really encourages groups and individuals to do. And I figured if I get stuck along the way, we could put something together and have a committee, a commission, a play group, or something like this that would be appropriate for this thing. I put out the one that didn't go through with FinCom. They liked the idea, but they wanted the peer review. Based upon that, and Robin said that night during the FinCom meeting from afar, I said, a markers, memorials, and monuments would be an excellent idea. I put on the listserv for the Mass Historic Commission and getting any feedback from folks in other towns. I did get some stuff. And Lexington has a great little planned memorial committee too. And I did some more research this afternoon, and I found there are other towns that do have memorial committees at varying degrees of what they do. And I'll put that together too. But what I just to give you an idea of what Lexington, and I did it for Sturbridge, not to take up a whole bunch of time. The membership was did be determined for whatever, be through the town administrator with approval of the select person. What essentially the description is the committee will develop and publish an inventory of existing public and private memorials in Sturbridge and assess the condition of these memorials, like what Robin does in facilities now and takes care of them, and what Bob Breer has done with other things, maintaining them. But this would be under their purview as well. The committee will also be charged with identifying the need as well as reviewing requests for new public memorials for veterans and other persons or events that would recommend for possible, and also be available for recommending the possible design and locations of such things. In other words, this is, as I said, this is a draft. So what you would do is you want to have a committee to start with, work out policies and procedures and the mechanics to have it from there on in. But now you have a place to work from. And that was what I wanted to be able to
No, it makes sense. The only question I had on it, and I don't even know if this is just an example, but it almost would just getting people, because it's hard to get people for a lot of boards, and this board, once you have it kind of up and running, I'm not sure how it fills up. So the only thing, this isn't a rhetorical question, it's truly a question. Wouldn't it almost make sense, almost so like design and review sort of an offset of planning, almost to have it like off CPA, because a lot of that money ends up coming from the community preservation.
Right, money does come off CPA too, but it should be an independent, most towns have found that have an independent thing, with liaisons from the other ones. What Lexington had done is that they had liaisons with non-voting liaisons with the select board, town celebrations committee, which are special events would be that, the veteran services or facilities, Robin's department, DPW, and the Sturbridge Historical Society. These would be all liaisons with it. You have all these people involved with it, which you're sort of covering all the bases. I think that would be a good thing as well. The importance of having independence, okay, as opposed to not being like a subcommittee underneath the historical commission, is that you are not going to take away from them at all. As far as interest goes, I've had a person come up to me already, recently the past couple of weeks, said, if anything does come out of this, I want to be involved with it.
And I have someone actually too who wants to be involved.
And this is come up to me, and I know other people that have expressed an interest in doing things like this. In the past, in the past year, if anything came up, they like to work with it. So I think you're right. Getting people to come into boards and committees and commissions in town is difficult to do. But since I already have a couple of people, and I don't think we need a whole slew of people. Lexington has 9 people. I don't think.
I think
we
5
don't
is,
need
yeah.
that.
It's, we're not.
5 typically works for us, and we
Five is a nice
we may
number.
have veterans who are interested.
Yes.
Once this is out, we may have a veteran who wants to sit on this. I mean, that, I think, because it's such a huge Veterans Memorial
Component
presence
to it.
in this town.
Yep.
So I think we add that, we have the woman that spoke with me, you have a person, so I think we right off the bat might have, without even advertising, well, we're still advertised, obviously, but I think we very easily could get on this, for this particular thing, I think we actually might get a draw.
Oh, yeah, well, yeah, that all makes sense, except I get it, and that is true, except every time we fill a position
No, I
with
know.
someone else, and then we have something that is a more
It's hard to
core function. I'm not saying that this is an important committee, it's an important committee, but once you get this committee up and running, it will be up and running to an extent, and so the big lift is there, and that's all important. But we are not Lexington, and Lexington is about
I get
7
towns
times
like
the size. So
Guild
with that,
and
I'm
Hall.
fine with whatever the board wants to do.
Yeah,
That's my only hesitancy.
Can I, I agree with that, Chair. I think it's an excellent idea. My only input would be, I think it should consist of residents at large who have, a real, not that people aren't interested, but usually you go to you gravitate to something that really touches your heart. And the only thing with representatives from other committees, it sounds excellent on paper. But what you have to do is go to those committee members and see if they want yet another committee to.
another meeting to go.
And I know, like with special events, for example, the configuration of that has changed so much because we wanted somebody from Recreation on it. Well, Recreation thinks, and I'm not saying they don't, they do enough work, they did not want a representative. So when you try to have liaisons, we're committing other people to more than one committee. So my suggestion would be you start with residents at large.
Wally's on it, they've already got a liaison.
I already agree with that.
Committees.
And that's what, and Lexington felt the same way too. I'm using them as an
I-
example because they
I
have everything in writing.
envisioned-
Yeah.
And what they did say was that it would be open to military veterans, like you already
Yep.
said, that would be strongly encouraged, but not limited to that. Anybody had a knowledge of Sturbridge history, Lexington history, or anybody has a design or experience in design and construction and preservation of monuments, that's open, or anybody has a desire to work this way.
Right.
The liaison thing is non-voting members came, because we have liaisons with everything. I'm a liaison with the Board of, Planning Board with the CPA. But I'm a voting member, but this would be something that you would involve them as non-voting members, but have them not part of the committee itself as official,
I
but
think
have
in
them
our-
involved by
I think likely in our case, what's going to happen is, I agree, it should be 5 at-large residents, and then I think what's going to happen is, even if we don't have committee representatives, because it is hard to get them, even as non-voting, to show up, I think what's going to happen is, we'll have a staff member assigned to it, non-voting, which will be Robin in this case, as facilities director, and then whatever appropriate department, depending on what comes up. So preliminarily, would I want DPW to have some input? It may not even be going to the meetings, but Heather just may have to review whatever the original
makes more
plans are.
sense to
So
me.
that we have staff as appropriate, with 1 staff liaison and 5 residents at large.
Yeah, I would support
It's
that.
excellent idea.
Yeah.
Could we start out with maybe an informational thing for the public, just to see what interest is out there to begin with? No sense starting a committee if,
Yeah, I think I tend to agree with Bear. I don't know if it even has to be an information. I think it's a little bit more formality around what this actually means, because I know what it means. Like, I see how these things work, and I get how it works, but if you haven't seen how this works or where the money comes from and all these things, like, some people it might sound good to be on this, and then when they see it's a lot of, all right, this comes from this account, this is where we can spend this money, and this is the rules, it gets a little dry.
We certainly would advertise it like we would any, with information saying, looking for people interested in joining, and then outline.
yeah, I
What it
mean,
means.
we need
Yeah.
to start someplace and
Once
then,
we get established as.
But I need to have the committee established before
Yes.
I could actually,
Yeah.
put the information out.
I would like to
What it
vote
is.
on it with a formal mission statement, though, not
Right.
more broad, like what, so I think we need to set and I think this kind of goes to what Mary's trying to say, is like, we need to define the parameters a bit more specifically.
We have to have the mechanics in place, we have the policies and procedures, and that's what I'm working on at home right now, is putting together something like that to present, if it ever does we give birth to this idea. If we do so, we have a little bit of a head start, and maybe we can work on that and work on it as well.
Yeah, I mean, mine's even simpler than that. It's just a mission. It's like, I'm literally saying, this is what we're gonna say we're doing.
Yeah.
And before we say we're gonna do it, we know what it is.
3 sentences.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be, it
I have a
is,
mission statement here, and
Yeah,
I'll
just-
give a passage to you, and that's partly what I read to you. It's 6 lines long, and I think that would encompass everything that we need to
yeah.
do.
So if you could send us the stuff from Lexington and that'd be perfect. and
I will.
we'll-
I'll do that.
And you don't have to come back in on it, and we can see if Chase has any,
Right, exactly.
we can just kind of pick it up and maybe have the next
I'll
one.
do that. I'll do that.
Is your mission statement just, can you read it to us if it's short? I'd like to hear
Actually,
it.
it's a description, and this is what we could do with it. The
Okay.
committee will develop and publish, actually, we could reword this any way you want, an inventory of existing public and private memorials within Sturbridge and assess the condition of those memorials. Well, we could, as I said, do anything we want with that. And for annual maintenance and a restoration plan. Right now, we are in a restoration plan with outside the graveyard.
Yeah.
That's altogether different. Second paragraph, the committee will be charged with identifying the need as well as reviewing the request of new memorials and for veterans and other persons and events, and recommend possible design and locations for such things. So we ran into the problem with number 3 with me. All records pertaining to the actions of the Monuments and Memorials Committee shall be filed with the town clerk for archiving purposes. And that's
That's pretty much it.
it.
Okay, I think I wanted to sort of see
Yeah,
it.
type
See it, yeah, because it should be a mission statement coming from the board.
Yeah, because we're kind of setting
Not-
the policy and we want to do it in a.
Yeah, not just an individual.
And I'm sorry to be a pain on it too, Wally, because I know how much above and beyond this work is. No, it's a big deal. And people, it's a lot of extra effort that you don't have to do, and we really appreciate it.
Yeah, we do have a lot of memorials,
Yeah.
and we've got a beautiful one right
Gotta take
outside
care
of
of it.
town.
And being
hall.
organized, just the audit
Just
alone.
inventory.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's a
it's
huge.
It's so
deal.
important. It's so, and I have no problem myself doing
across
it.
the
I know other
street
people are
with the-
willing to put their heart and soul into it as well.
I mean, and obviously, I personally have never gone along with you, so it's.
We haven't had our first fight yet, Jamie.
Honeymoon's over.
All right, so I think we're just gonna, if it's okay with the board, just do a poll
Yeah,
for
just
now, and then we'll.
Put it on the agenda for 2 weeks or whenever for.
Perfect.
In 2 weeks again, you'll bring it up amongst yourselves, is that how you're gonna?
Yeah, we'll put it on the
I
agenda
don't-
for
Yeah, I don't
July.
think, we'll tell you if we need you, but I don't think so.
Very good. I'll forward that information to you in the interim, okay?
But you have people already in mind?
Yes, Jessica and the library trustees is, and Robin has a person as well.
But we'll put it out like we do all boards and
Sometimes, we don't
committees.
even have that.
Yeah,
so-
no, there's interest. There's a
No,
lot of
that's
interest.
great.
And then we'll advertise it, like I said, and see how many people we get.
Perfect. All right, thanks, Wally, appreciate it, boss.
Thank you.
All right, we are moving on to all of our friends who are on the Sturbridge Agricultural Commission.
Well, so if I could just collectively, before we introduce everybody one by one, we have been trying to reseat the Agricultural Commission since I came here in May of '22. So we had trouble, we've been advertising, and then questions have come up about a few properties, questions have come up about chickens, questions have come up about zoning. And there are some clear parameters that the Agricultural Commission can do, and there are areas that fall under the building official and zoning. But when the Agricultural Commission is not seated, we cannot do those case-by-case one-offs that by statute in our own bylaws they're supposed to do. So we had, I believe, in fact, it is our first candidate who had sent a letter a while back, Lindsay, there she is, had sent a letter a while back, and we just wanted to see if we could get a few names together and really form this committee to seat them, reform it. And so we are pleased tonight to present, I think, 4 members, and we have a letter of interest from a 5th, so that will fully seat it. I had a backup person, Mr. Hillman was ready to, is my backup if needed, but he was the one who recommended, I believe Heidi, and that was a recommendation there. So you will see one husband-wife team. I did get an opinion from Jonathan Eichman, as long as they file a disclosure.
Yeah.
There's no issue with a husband-wife being on a committee, so I did confirm with the attorneys that we can do that. Obviously, they would have to recuse if it involved each other anyway, so it wouldn't be an issue. So with that, we can go with the first one,
Yeah.
since we have 4, so Lindsay.
Lindsay, please come down. If you can just state your name and where you live in town for the record.
I'm Lindsay Broder. I live at 7 August Street in Fiskdale.
All right, so why do you want to join the Sturbridge Agricultural Commission?
I think it's really important to have that representation in the town in general. I've definitely encountered a number of people from town that kind of, like you said, have questions about like kind of zoning and like right to farm, sort of questions like that. And like owning chickens, goats, those sort of things. I also think, agricultural education is great for the community. It's not something that necessarily people jump on when, kids education. I think that's really important for them to learn. And I also think it'd be great to get the community more involved if possible. Like I would love to see like a community seed bank happen, things like that. I noticed the community garden over there. I don't know how active
And that's with the church.
that is.
Yes, Rich.
Which is great. So yeah, that's about it.
Any questions?
Nope, well spoken.
Yeah, very well spoken. Do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion to confirm the appointment of Lindsay Broder to the Sturbridge Agricultural Commission for a term to expire June 17th, 2027.
Second?
Great, all those in favor? You guys have it, welcome aboard.
Thank you, Lindsay.
Appreciate it. All right, Eric Reynolds, you're next on the list.
Hi, good evening.
Aye.
How you doing, Eric?
I'm good, how are you?
Good to state your name and where in town you live for the record.
Yeah, so I'm Eric Reynolds. I live at 317 Lead Mine Road in Fiskdale. I own Cornerstone Farm. Used to be KE Farm. My wife's grandparents used to own it. We bought it last year after her grandfather had passed away.
Oh, great. Well, not great about the passing away, I'm sorry. That was poorly timed. I was glad that you
Okay,
were,
you got
I'm
the
glad
stuff
that you
that's
were.
on your mind. I understand.
Yeah, I apologize for the insensitivity there. But all right, do we have any questions, comments from the board?
None, I just do want to compliment you for taking your hat off.
Oh, thank
We have several people at this meeting and other meetings that sit there with their hats rudely on their heads.
Well, if my mom were still alive and saw me sitting at this table with my hat on, she would have smacked it off. Yeah, so.
Okay, so, thanks, all right, anything,
I'm really glad I didn't come with the Celtics hat
you
tonight,
know,
which I considered, but
Yeah, no,
no, I would have taken it off for the.
Well, had you, I think Jamie would have given you a pass.
Cornerstone, what do you produce there?
So we do maple syrup.
You still do the maple syrup?
So we still do the maple
Excellent.
syrup, goat milk soap, and we should have eggs starting next month. We got 100 chickens coming at the end of the month.
Good, good, so you're growing it, good.
We are, and we're actually about to start microgreens as well.
Oh,
great.
Nice.
well, I'll be back for maple syrup.
My farm stand's always open.
Beautiful.
Excellent, all right, so with that, do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion to confirm the appointment of Eric Reynolds to the Sturbridge Agricultural Commission for a term to expire June 17th, 2026.
second,
All those in favor? Great.
Thank you very much.
thank you.
All right, Heidi, I think you're on. All right, Heidi, would you just please state your name and where you live in town for the record?
Sure. My name is Heidi Perry-Gorgoni. I live on Fisk Hill in Sturbridge.
Great. And why do you want to be on the Agricultural Commission?
Since I was in diapers, I've been involved with livestock and animals. I grew up on a dairy goat farm down on the Cape. We've always raised our own food. My husband and I moved to Sturbridge, and we've brought all of our animals with us. Very passionate about all my animals. A lot of them are rescues. We also do a lot of fostering for dogs as well. So I'm very looking forward to talking with the town and getting people more involved, especially kids, and being able to be a resource.
Great. No, that sounds great.
Sounds good.
Questions, comments from the board?
Got a lot of expertise on this commission already.
Love it.
People had
Yeah.
shown up.
Yeah.
Excellent. All right, with that, do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion to confirm the appointment of Heidi Perry Gorgon to the Sturbridge Agricultural Commission for a term to expire June 17th, 2025.
Great, do we have a second?
Second?
All those in favor? All right, the ayes have it.
Thank you.
All right, Daniel, you are up now, my friend.
I was hoping she'd speak for me.
Just say ditto.
All right, can you just please state your address and name for the record?
Sure, my name is Dan Gorgoni, and I live at Fisk Hill Road as well. We actually started out on Allen Road a few years back and increased the size of the property, and we actually got an older farmhouse that we always wanted to fix up. So the reason I want to be on the committee is mainly for people awareness of the goodness of animals and agricultural. I was the bad dad that didn't allow video games. Both my children grew up working on dairy farms, and I think it made them better people, and their friends that they've made friends over the years, and just I want people to be more involved and see there's more to life outside of the walls of your home.
Yeah.
There's so much to do outside with, nature, the wilderness, animals in general. Big animal lover. And of course, do the same. A lot of rescues. 90% of our animals were rescues.
Wow.
We do,
I like that.
which was tough for me in the beginning. We do some meat birds and turkeys because it's the way of life. But
Yeah.
I've always. We sell eggs too. But I opened up my eyes to it, and it's the way of life, and I'd be happy to share and get other people on board.
Great. No, anything else from the board?
I think it's great. What kind of, just out of curiosity, what kind of animals right now are in your rescue
So
haven?
we have 3 donkeys and 2 mini horses that came off the meat wagon. They actually sell them for zoo meat at auctions.
I don't
Yeah,
even
I do.
laugh, but there you go.
I see the stare in your eyes. You're like,
Oh, yeah, I guess.
So it's actually a real thing. So they came to us, and then we have, we're up to 6 goats. 6 goats, and then we have baby doll sheep.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
great.
So
No, we appreciate that's all very,
Interest.
yeah, the interest, and it is from, from both of you, because we know it's tough when you're working a live piece of property that's not, those are long days.
Yes,
So
yeah.
joining the committee is
I will
it's
say,
appreciated.
we were very apprehensive to move up to Fisk Hill. We were proud of the Beverly Hillbillies towing the donkeys behind us. But, our neighbors are outstanding.
Oh, no,
They
it's
love
a,
it,
it's a lovely
so.
part of town.
Where on Allen Road were you?
39, right on the Brookfield line.
Oh, okay.
There's a little log cabin.
No, because I live on Allen Road, and I was
okay.
trying to figure out.
Yeah, right across, there's 2 horses that have been there forever. We were directly across the street.
No, I know, oh, okay, that used to be wait, you had like things set up for dogs to train dogs or goats?
No, no.
That was the one
That was way
before,
before,
okay, I know exactly where it is.
All right, well, now that Mary Lou knew where you used to live,
Can you rescue those 2 horses, please?
We used to feed them out from our peach tree all the time, but yeah.
all right, so with that, do we have a motion?
Okay, I'll make a motion to confirm the appointment of Daniel Gorgoni.
Perfect.
Well, I heard you say it. Okay, to the Sturbridge Agricultural Commission for a term to expire June 17th, 2025.
Second.
Great, all those in favor? Thank you. Welcome aboard, thanks, guys.
Patty, I'll be in touch with you.
I'm gonna have to look now when I go
How are your
by.
animals going to like this heat that's coming up?
A lot of kitty pools.
A lot of kiddie pools?
Makes sense, yeah.
But we keep them out of the sun. They only go out for half a day. Luckily, tomorrow, my daughter comes over on that day, she has to go on. Back in, but we have a lot of helpers scheduled.
Great. All right, we're moving on. Consideration and possible action on an application for a one-day liquor license for Oakland Brewing Company, Melissa LeBlanc, for an event at Pickleball U on June 22nd, 2024, from 5 p.m. to 9 p.m., located at 178C Main Street, Sturbridge. Hey, how's it going?
Good, how are you?
Very well. All right, so what's going on Pickleball U?
Pickleball, they contacted us. We're a sponsor of one of their courts. They're having beer nights on Saturdays in the month of June. And so we filed our application to be a vendor at their beer night on Saturday. It's from 6 to 8 p.m. The application is, I think I put 4 to 9 just for some leeway to set up and close up. There are going to be, I think, 3 or 4 other breweries there as well, so it won't just be us. And we are doing a tasting, so it'll be a 3-ounce tasting, or they can purchase pint pours as well.
Nice. Questions from the board?
How did the last one go? Was there any trouble?
No trouble whatsoever. It was very quiet. They didn't have a lot of people there.
Yeah, I know there was no complaints.
Yeah, no,
It was opening.
It was opening
I
day.
did go drop out.
Yeah, it was great. There was a great reception. Not a lot of drinkers, and the people that are drinking are just having one because they're playing pickleball. So,
They're too spent from working out.
yes.
Yeah.
And I'll be working the event. I'll be facilitating it. I'm their Oakham's sales and distribution manager. I'm tip certified, and I've been in the industry a long time.
As long as Babe doesn't go, we're fine with it.
Yes, no, Babe won't be there.
No, he's great. But all right, with that, do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the application for a one-day liquor license for Ocam Brewing Company / Melissa LeBlanc for an event at Pickleball U on June 22nd, 2024, from 5 p.m. to 9 p.m., located at 178C Main Street, Sturbridge.
Second?
All those in favor? All right, the ayes have it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Going down the line with this one, too. All right. So then we are moving on to the consideration and possible action on a one-day liquor license for Ragged Hill Cider Company for the Sturbridge Farmers Market for Sundays from June 23rd, 2024 to October 13th, 2024, from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. How's it going?
Hi, how are you?
Good. All right. So I think you've done this previously there,
We've
right?
done this every year since the Sturbridge Farmers Market has been open, and we're pleased to be invited back year after year. So we grow our own fruit in West Brookfield, Massachusetts. My name is Ann Garwood. I'm one of the owners. We're a father-daughter team of Ragged Hill Cider Company. Grow our own fruit, make our own hard cider. So we're an agricultural business. Sure. We set up a tent on the common with the farmers market. We do small samples, 1-ounce pours for those who like, and sell bottles for off-site consumption only.
And it's a beautiful spot up there. I've really seen it. Yeah. Questions, comments, concerns from the board? All right. Do we have a motion?
Well, I just have a question. I know you're a farmer, right? Farmer brewer's license? Okay, because beer, is that considered alcohol?
So beer is a separate license. We don't make beer and we don't sell beer. I believe that, from my understanding, the farmer brewers licenses are not authorized to be at farmers markets yet. I know they're working on that, but the farmer wineries are.
Yeah, I was looking at the time too, 9, and I know all other alcohol can't be served
Very
before 10.
complicated on the farmers brewers licenses.
Oh, yeah.
It's very complicated
Yes.
right now.
It is.
What you can and can't do,
Yeah.
who can do what, under what license.
It's a lot.
They're pushing the Mass Brewers Guild is trying to push legislation forward to allow.
Clean that up a little bit, yeah.
Licenses to sell at farmers market, but it's been stalled in the House for years. And
Yeah, I know, because we've looked it up every year. Yes, and
That's just
changed.
married. All right. So with that, any other questions, concerns, thoughts? All right. Do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the one-day liquor license application for Ragged Hill Cider Company for the Sturbridge Farmers Market for Sundays from June 23rd, 2024 to October 13th, 2024, from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m.
Do we have a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
I'll abstain to tell Michelle.
Yep.
All right. Thank you for coming in.
I'm just getting it signed right now.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That's what I was doing. feel like I'm giving out hallway passes. All right, we are moving on to consideration and possible, do you guys have another thing to be? Oh, you're waiting for that. Yeah. Okay. I just wanted to make sure if there was something else. Consideration and possible action on a transient vendor application for Northeast Cutlery Collectors Association Incorporated for a show at the Sturbridge Host Hotel on November 17th from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. All right.
Yeah, I don't have anything on that.
I don't think there was anything
Nope,
too
not much
exciting
to say
here.
on that.
You guys have anything? Do we have a motion?
Make a motion to approve the transient vendor application from Northeast Cutlery Collectors Association, Inc. for a show at the Sturbridge Host Hotel on November 17th, 2024, from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m.
All right, do we have a second?
Second.
All those in favor? All right. Mary, did you vote?
Excuse me?
Oh,
this
sorry.
one.
Oh, yeah, sorry. All right, we have a 4-0. All right, moving on to consideration and possible action on a transient vendor application for David Brockman for a show at the Sturbridge Host Hotel on Sunday, July 7th, 2024, from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m., and on Monday, July 8th, 2024, from 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. All right, and this is for antique and vintage clothing and textiles. I didn't have anything here. Does anybody have anything?
Nope.
Do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the application for a transient vendor license for David Brockman for antique and vintage clothing and textile show on Sunday, July 7th, 2024, 11 to 8 p.m., and Monday, July 8th, 8 a.m. to 10 p.m.
Great. All right, do we have a second?
Second.
All those in favor? All right, the ayes have it. Okay. Consideration and possible action to accept a letter of resignation from Chase Walker from his position in the Facilities Department.
But you missed P.
Yep.
Oh, did I?
Yep.
Sorry. Consideration and possible action on a hawker and peddler application for Dennis F. Walsh for farm stand at Empire Village parking lot on Route 20 for the sale of farm fresh fruits and vegetables.
This is an important one.
Very important.
Yes, so moved.
All right.
Second.
All those in favor? Great. The ayes have it.
Is this the corn on the cob?
Yes, this is the
Yeah.
corn guy.
We all wait for.
Consideration and possible action to accept a letter of resignation from Chase Walker from his position in facilities.
So moved.
A second?
Second.
All those in favor? Great. All right. Consideration and possible action to accept a letter of resignation from Marcia Rigsby from her position on Slack as the Walker Pond representative with our thanks for her work.
So moved.
Do we have a second?
Second.
All those in favor? Consideration and possible action to accept the letter of resignation from Sherry Kelleher from Slack as the Lead Mine Lake representative with our thanks.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor? Great. Consideration and possible action to confirm the appointment of Richard Volpe to the Betterment Committee and the Board of Health representative for a term to expire June 17th, 2025.
I think it means as the Board of Health.
Oh, did I?
Yeah.
I mentioned this to Robin before.
Yeah.
There is no Board of Health rep, so I'm not too sure where Rich,
I thought he said that there was. They found out that there was a Board of Health representative.
I have been on that, and...
And I looked at the bylaws and I don't see it. I did not see it.
No, it's never there. And plus, I have the legislation someplace that established the committee. It's by special legislation, and it determines
Oh, yeah.
it's 5 members to be appointed by the Board of Selectmen as follows. 1 member of the Board of Selectmen, 1 representative from the hotel or motel trade, the financial manager, executive secretary, town manager, or other administrative official of said town. one member of the planning board, and one person who is a member of the town safety committee.
Yeah, the website has it on there, but it's got to be inaccurate on the website.
Oh, yeah, because there's the person that's missing is the representative from the hotel motel. And that's been quite a few years.
I know Terry actually was looking at that.
Yeah, it's,
Sent me an
What's the
email.
site of what you just said, Mary?
please,
What was that from, what you just read?
Mass General Law, the Acts, 1986.
So why don't we hold until I can do a little more research
Yeah.
on
Yeah,
it?
because, I mean, it's...
Let me find out how it ended up on the website and why. Was there
Yeah,
something that
because-
changed in between then and then is what I need to find
I
out. I
mean,
just haven't had a chance to
no
research it.
reflection on, you
Yeah,
know,
no, just, it's
But-
okay.
but he said somebody told him, and
And it is on the website that way, so I want to just be sure that nothing changed, that there was no change in that after that.
yeah, no, we never went to
So-
town meeting to change,
Yeah, we'll
The
poke through and find out for
exception.
sure.
yeah.
Okay, yeah, let's hold it for now.
Yep.
Yeah, because,
And honestly, this guy's no good.
yeah, because,
He's a shady character.
you would know. Yeah, because right now, we have Robin, which is town administrator. Sue Waters is the representative from the planning board. I'm from the Board of Selectmen. Earl Desert is safety. So the hotel motel rep is missing. As a matter of fact, the last one I can remember was Jim McConnell. But there's never been a Board of Health rep.
All right, we'll sort it out.
Yeah,
All right.
it'll come out in the wash.
Yeah. Then all right, moving on to action item U, consideration and possible action to authorize the chair to execute the contract with National Painting Service LLC for the amount of $35,700 for the partial exterior painting of the Joshua Hyde Library.
How come partial?
Well, I don't think the whole thing needs to be painted. Not because we're going to only paint part of what needs to be done, but more because it's partial. The need is partial.
Yeah, is that, where's that building painted? Is the whole thing painted?
It's more the trim and whatnot.
Oh, yeah, got you. So it's just so that's why, because I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah, it's not the whole build,
I
yeah.
was like, I didn't think
Well,
that
some
was
of it's
painted. I thought that
stone,
was
some
just
of it's,
mostly
yeah,
stone.
yeah, a lot of it's stone.
Okay, so that's probably why, 'cause
Yeah.
it's probably trim. And-
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Doors
okay, that makes
and
sense.
Windows.
All right, do we have any other comments, or do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion to authorize the chair to execute the contract with National Painting Services LLC for the amount of $35,700 for the partial exterior painting of the Joshua Hyde Library.
Do we have a second?
Second,
All those in favor? The ayes have it. All right, consideration and possible action to authorize the chair to execute the contract with Brown Electric Corp. for $65,883 for the Recycle Center fire alarm replacement project. Okay, do we have any questions, comments from the board?
nope.
Pretty self-explanatory. Do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion to authorize the chair to execute the contract with Brown Electric Corp. for $65,883 for the Recycle Center fire alarm replacement project.
Second?
All those in favor? Great. W, consideration and possible action on vacation carryover for the town administrator.
I gave you a number up to, but only because I'm hoping to use some next week, so it'll be lower than that number. But if I don't get to use it next week, it's up to that amount, whatever was in there, however many hours in my memo. 120-something hours, I think it was. What was it?
I don't have the number.
I don't have a memo, I don't know.
You don't have a memo with the hours? I sent an email, I thought.
You might have, that you might have done, but,
Yeah. I thought I did send a memo, but
it's how much, so you're basically looking to carry over that what you have?
that what I have, which will probably, hopefully it'll be 10 less than that, because I'm hoping to use some next week.
Okay, does anybody have any question, concern?
July 1st is my official date of vacation dump, because I came on in May, and so I got
I
my
was gonna
initial in
say,
July. That's why mine's
engagement.
off. Yeah. Oh, here it is. Yep, so 123.5 hours, hopefully less.
Okay. So do we have a, do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the vacation carryover for the town administrator.
Do we have a second?
Second.
All those in favor? Great. Use your vacation time this summer, Robin.
I am trying.
All right. Old business. Well, it's a time to do it now.
It is the time, yes, it is, because
Business
once
season.
town meeting kicks up
Yeah,
quick,
yeah,
it's gonna be
it's gonna-
coming fast this year.
So, all right, old business town administrators review.
And what did I do?
You just need to officially give something for Barbara to,
Would.
Email.
because that's how the merit pay is based on, so you all have to vote that.
Do we have to vote for your merit, or we have to
I
vote?
believe you do.
We actually can vote for her salary, period.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just pulling up the.
Do we usually talk about the review at all? I mean, that's what we've usually done. I don't care that we don't, but,
Yeah.
are we going to do that, or are we just
I
talking
can give
about
a
the merit?
little, just summary for the record, and if it doesn't, and if people want to tag on, then we can tag on. You've done a very good job, Robin. We appreciate having you here. You know, I don't think it would, you know, myself, I think assigning numbers is always a little bit of a funny way to rate people, but you kind of have to do something. And some folks felt you were, everybody across the board thought you met standards on everything. There are some areas that people had more particular concerns and that are really good growth items, but it wasn't anything, nobody on the board found that you didn't meet standards, and most people found that you were exceptional or good in all categories. And again, it's just getting the ropes in our little community, so I think we're all very pleased to have you, and that's basically my 2 cents, unless anybody has anything else.
No, that sums it up.
I just want to add that I also feel she's doing an excellent job, and for those viewing, when we do a composite review, her numbers came out exceeding meeting expectations. I know we said that everybody
Sure.
felt that way, but the majority, I believe, based upon the composite, felt you were exceeding it, and very happy to have you.
Well, I think the areas, I mean, again, this is where metrics are weird, but it is the areas where I think people, you know, I don't think the difference between people's assessments, or once you got to the more subjective points, were all that different, but, you know, everybody's got things to work on, and otherwise, what are we getting up and doing every day?
I did meet with the department heads, and all of them, with the exception of one, and he was retiring, so I'll give him a pass, all had very good things to say, very positive things to say.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I have a great team.
Yeah. No, we're lucky to have people we have. All right, so I think that's, so do you need a motion for merit?
I think so, because Barbara needs to know so I get what the non-union gets, which was the 2.75 that I proposed for all non-union, and then you all can add. The first year, it was limited to 2%, because I took that as a condition, but then this year, it was opened, so.
So
To give you a sense, just to give you some parameters, not that I'm trying to say what I
No,
should
no.
or should not get, or more or less, I can give merit to my directors above the non-union, outside of the non-union, my own directors that I give merit to, which are my police and fire chief and DPW director, finance director, are the 4 that I give merit to that are not on the classification scale. I can give them up to 3% additional, is what my range is with them. So just to give you a parameter on, just to give you some sense on how it works.
3% on top of the 2.
On top of the 2.75, they can get merit up to 3.
I have a quick question that's more procedural.
Sure.
So this says old business town administrators review. Should we have had an action item
that's what I was
saying a merit increase? Because I feel like your review and your merit are kind of two different things.
Yeah, so I looked at this as just making sure we tagged the actual comments in the record.
Right.
And saying what, you know, what,
So,
where.
I mean, I'm in favor of a merit increase.
Yeah,
I just would be more comfortable if that's an actual agenda item.
And I think we should do it with a full board too, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, 2 weeks is,
Well, it's, the only difference it makes is if it hits a payroll for Barbara on July 1st, but I think that should be fine. Because she won't have to do July 1st payroll until
And if we have to
July
set
6th or
a,
7th.
and if we have to set a retro, we'll
Yeah,
set a
she can do
retro.
retro if she wants.
This wasn't one of the
Yep.
things that happens to come up,
Yeah,
you
I
know.
don't
where-
want to just do it
Yep.
from the hip, because I
Yep.
wasn't, and that's my fault, because I probably should ask, because I just assumed in my head that it was more about the review itself. So, all right, so let's put that on, and if that's okay with you. Robin.
Did you give 3,
Merit, yeah.
and you gave, well, we already saw the budget, so
I
you
did. I
did
did
your
two-
3%.
Well, I haven't, to my own directors, you mean?
Yes.
I'm meeting with them this week to determine above the 2.75, which each of those 4. Next week, I'm meeting with them all to do their
Oh,
reviews.
you haven't,
So I do
okay.
their reviews and then apply their merit. I have enough budgeted for up to,
That's what I thought.
Yes.
But you have not committed to
but
it.
I have not committed yet.
Oh, okay.
No, I'll be meeting with them next week.
Yeah, and we, don't forget, we can
Review that.
review their review.
Right,
Review.
yeah.
All right, so moving to, any other old business from anyone?
I will bring it, well, I'll bring it up with correspondence. Did everybody receive a letter, an email from Peter Nemo?
Yes.
Oh,
I
okay.
responded to him today. that
Okay,
we
I
will-
did too,
In
and
July, that we will address this more in July, but that bid, you all voted several weeks ago to let me go out to bid for leases on these towers. The only one that has gone out is the Fisk Hill one.
Right, that's what
That has
I,
not gone out, and we're not ready to, because I can't put it out till I figure out what we're gonna call the tower anyway. So I'm.
okay, so that's on hold.
Church Street.
Well, yes, we'll vote on
So
that.
that is on hold
It's
regardless.
on hold until next month.
Okay,
Yes.
okay, and you have, I
emailed
responded
him
to
back
him as
today,
well.
yes.
And just to tell the board, he did, well, I do plan on making a site visit to look at what is concerning them so
I
much
have
about the
some
maintenance road.
pictures.
I know, but like, so.
Oh, yeah, oh, no.
Yes, I'm glad
Please
to,
go.
but in any event, that was my old business,
Yep.
but I don't have any other old business.
Okay, Mary Lou, any other business? And Mary? No,
Nope.
I have none. New business, Mary Lou?
Nothing.
Mary Dell?
No?
Nope.
And none. All right, and then, so correspondence.
Okay,
The second one has already been addressed. Mr. LePage went out.
I know.
Oh,
Michelle gave me
Oh,
the,
okay, yeah.
How did it work out?
The
Because
bushes need to be taken back. They took the fence down already. Mr. Burlingame had gone out and took the fence down, or had them take the fence down, which they did. Mr. LePage went out and said the bushes were a site impairment.
Yeah.
And so those
Is
are
it
taken
on-
down.
oh, good. Oh,
It's on private property,
property.
yes. Yes, but they are willing to, I guess he's working with them to take that down to clear it, to make it the visual better.
I mean, it's 2 houses up.
But if it is blocking the line of sight, so. But he went out, so just, it is being addressed, just so the board knows it's being addressed.
all right, so we got a butter notification from Conservation Commission for Mass Electric Company. We did get a letter from Marion Grimes regarding a safety complaint at 6 Arnold's Road that our town administrator just spoke about. We have a letter of thanks and gratitude from Michael Caplet, our former town moderator for 23 years, thanking the various departments, the Finance Committee, Lynn Gerard, for all the help over the years, as well as the proclamation which we presented at town meeting. And we have an email from a resident and parishioner of St. Anne's concerning the maintenance of the road leading to the water tower.
Thanks, Mary. All right, approval of minutes.
I think you're gonna have to table those
Yeah,
because,
Chase isn't here?
Yeah.
Yeah, all right, we'll table those. All right, minutes are tabled. Citizens forum, seeing none.
Because we don't have enough people.
Yeah, and then
Executive session.
executive session, so, Mary Dowling, do you want to read the
Yes.
executive session?
I'll make a
There are
motion
2 items there, Mary.
that we go into executive session. Hold on. Pursuant to Mass General Laws, Chapter 30A, Section 21, some paragraph A2, to conduct strategy sessions in preparation for negotiations with non-union personnel, or to conduct collective bargaining sessions or contract negotiations with non-union personnel, and also to discuss strategy with respect to the collective bargaining agreement with the Teamsters Local 170 Firefighters Union, if an open meeting may have a detrimental effect on the bargaining position of the board, and the chair so declares.
So declared. Mary Lou, how do you, oh, are we gonna, close?
And not to reconvene in
Yeah,
open
that's
session.
what I was gonna get. All right, do we have a second?
Second.
All right, so declared. Mary Lou, how do you vote?
Yes.
Mary Donnelly?
Yes.
Mary Blanchard?
Yes.
Jamie Goodwin, yes. All right. See that we're off the record.
Wait till Bruce comes out and waves.
Yeah.
Official word.
Robin,
Yep.